Are you or a loved one disabled? Do you feel alone, lost, and confused as to how to win your Social Security case? If you're watching this video, it's probably because you have so many questions and you're desperately looking for the answers. Hi, my name is Avi Leibovic, and I'm the owner at Benefits for All and the lead attorney at Avi Leibovic Associates. Over the course of my 20-year career, I've overseen the processing and screening of over 500,000 disability cases, working with the largest hospitals, neighborhood clinics, primary care physicians, and even individuals who had no access to care at all. My strategies for how to win the case have made me one of the top experts in Social Security law in the entire nation. My life and my career were going great. And then one day it all came crashing down. It started first with some abdominal pains. And before I knew it, I'd been admitted to the hospital several times and I required multiple surgeries. I found myself unable to work and disabled and in desperate need of my own benefits. I understand exactly how you feel. I was in your shoes. And I'm going to take you through the process and help you and give you everything that I know so that you can win your case. I'm recovered and I'm back at work. And I have a newfound passion for helping disabled people because I myself have been there too. Call our office today for a free screening and to see how we can help you with your Social Security case. At the same time, enjoy these videos and webinars that we've prepared to you to help you understand how to win your Social Security case. This is Avi Leibovic, and you're watching another amazing webinar brought to you by Benefits for All, where we teach you how to win your Social Security disability case without having to pay the cost of an expensive attorney. The topic for today are the approval rates for disability applications in Colorado. Behind me, as you can see, is a beautiful Arkansas Riverwalk out here in Colorado Springs, a terrific, beautiful area. There's shopping, there's music, there's places to eat. Have to come down and check it out. Colorado in general, I'm having such a terrific time over here. Going tomorrow to an area called the Seven Falls, which has a unique waterfall made of 7 different drops, which National Geographic magazine rated as one of the best waterfalls in the world. So I'm really looking forward to that. And what we're going to talk about now, like I said, is the approval rate for Colorado. So let's jump right into it. Let's take a half a second and bring everyone up to speed, okay? This is especially for my friends in Colorado because they want to know if they're applying for benefits, what are their chances of getting approved, right? What are the odds against me? I got a 50-50 chance, I got a 70-30 chance. What do I have to do to win my case so I'm prepared before I go into it? So I'm going to reference my notes over here on my phone. I apologize, it's difficult to read a paper at night. But let's talk about the national rates. The national rates, as you may recall, as of 2016, is that at the application level, nationally, only 31.7, almost 32% of all of the claims get approved, 31.7. The reconsideration level, remember if the application is denied, you can go ahead and file a reconsideration. Nationally, the reconsideration approval rate is hovering at about 12%. 12%. And finally, the hearing nationally, the win rate is about 58.5%, right? 58.5%. So how does Colorado match up? If an application is 32% and a recon is about 12%, and we have, again, for the applicant, for the hearing, 58.5%, what's going to be in Colorado? So the first thing I need to say is like this. Some of you may have watched the webinar, and I hope that you did, where we talk about prototype offices. What's a prototype office? Well, let's review. There's an application, there's a reconsideration, and then there's a hearing before a administrative law judge. That's generally the way that it is. Application, decision, and if it gets denied, reconsideration, decision, and if it gets denied, hearing before a judge, decision. 3 places, 3 tiers. Afterwards, there's appeals counsel. Afterwards, there's federal district court, but we're not going to worry about those right now. We're just going to deal with the application, the recon, and the hearing. So what did we talk about in the prototype webinar? We talked about how the costs in the budget for Social Security were rising by the day. so many claims were being filed, and Social Security needed to go ahead and try to contain some costs. So they came up with an idea. They said, how can we do this? Well, if we go ahead and if we eliminate the reconsideration portion in some areas, right, then what we can try to do is we can go ahead and we can give an opportunity for the claimant to come in to discuss the case with the case manager, and then maybe it can be resolved at the reconsideration level instead of having to go all the way and do another reconsideration. And we're just going to call it a pre-conference meeting, right? A predetermination meeting. So what happens with that? So now, instead of having an application, a reconsideration, and a hearing, it goes straight from application straight to hearing. Application and hearing. In between, instead of the recon, again, you'll get a call where they'll call you to come down there, and they'll tell you, you know what, let's conference this in, let's talk about it, and let's see if we can go ahead and resolve this at the reconsideration through negotiating, through understanding what they need so you can provide it, and let's see how it can work out. So with that said, right, we now understand what is a prototype office. A prototype is something new. I have a new prototype rocket, a new prototype ship, a new prototype car, it's something new. It's just a prototype. We don't know if it's going to work out, but we're going to try it. So a prototype region is a region that has eliminated the reconsideration stage and has given an opportunity after the application, before the application is denied, to come in and meet with the claims rep to see what the problem is and see if it can be resolved at the application. Because if it can be resolved at the application, terrific. And if it can't be, we're just going to cut out the recon. We're going to go straight to the hearing. It will save us money. It will unclog the court systems, which are backed up. It's so difficult to get a judge. And it will provide a lot of different solutions for those regions that have a prototype office. Now, Colorado, the entire state, has implemented a prototype design. So what does that mean? Let's back it up. That means that in all the other states where there's an application, a reconsideration, and a hearing, because Colorado went ahead and they now have eliminated the recon, again, there's an application. Before the application is denied, so to speak, the claims manager will call you up and say, come on in. We're going to do a predetermination conference and see if we can work this out. And if it's denied, you're going to go straight to hearing. Now, in some states, like let's say California's very big. You have some areas, some regions which are prototype and some which are non-prototype. So how does someone in a state that offers both prototype and non-prototype models, how do they know which region they're in and whether they need to file a reconsideration or not file a reconsideration? Well, it's very easy. Either number one, they're going to go on SSA.gov and they're going to put in their zip code and they're going to write the word prototype and they're going to see if in fact they're a prototype office. Number two, you're going to look on www and Benefits for All, because we'll have a list of those prototype regions and those other regions which are non-prototype. Or number three, when you get your letter from Social Security on your application, you'll be able to look at the back of the letter and see what are the instructions. If the instruction tells you at the back of the application, we denied your application and now you have to file for a reconsideration within 60 days, then you know that you're in a non-prototype office because you have a reconsideration stage. On the other hand, if you submit an application and then you get a letter or a phone call that says, we're going to deny your case, but we're not going to deny it just yet. We're calling you for a pre-decision conference. Then you know that you're in a prototype region. Hopefully you can resolve it with the worker. Hopefully you can provide them with what you need. And hopefully you win your case. But if not, there's not going to be a reconsideration. Your denial letter, when you get it on your application, will tell you to go straight to hearing. Okay, with that said, it was a long introduction. But if I don't give the introduction, no one in Colorado who's watching this webinar is going to understand it. So for the final time, in Colorado, because it's a prototype region and prototype state, there is no reconsideration. It goes from initial application to, before it's denied, a predetermination conference, and then straight to hearing. So let's go through those win rates, those approval rates again, and let's see what's happening over here. On the application level, we said that the national approval rate is what? 31.7. You're not going to believe it, but Colorado is exactly pretty much at 31.8 approval rate. So there's no real advantages in the state of Colorado. There are some states that have a very high application win rate, and for those residents who live there in those states, they just got lucky. There's other states where the approval rate in that state on applications is below the national rate, so they got unlucky. Colorado, you're kind of exactly where the national average is. You're neither lucky nor unlucky. You're exactly right at the average of where everyone else is, which is 31.8. Out of every 100 applications, 31.8, or if we round it up, 32 applications in Colorado with disability benefits will get approved, and the remainder will get denied. Now, as we just learned, since Colorado is a prototype region and there's no reconsideration, you're going to get a letter from the worker of your case telling you to come in again, like I said, for a pre-determination conference to try to talk about it. What do you need? Do you need a medical record? Do you need an x-ray? Do you need some labs? Do you need a note from the doctor? An RFC, residual functional capacity questionnaire? What do you need? Tell me what you need and I will provide it, so that way we can work together in partnership to resolve this. We don't need to go ahead and deny the case. Let's see if we can resolve it. If you can give them what they need, you're golden and you're going to win your case. It's terrific. On the other hand, if not, you're going to go to hearing. So what are the averages on the hearing nationally, and what are the averages in Colorado? Nationally, the approval rate at hearing is 58.5%. 58.5, almost 60%. But we have a big problem with Colorado. And I don't know how to say this. I have to tell you the truth. The problem is that the win rate in Colorado is about 10 points less than the country. That means that instead of Colorado 58.5 of the cases being approved, only 47.8 are approved. That means less than half of the cases that go to hearing are approved. So there's two things we can learn out from this. We can learn out either number one, the prototypes really work, because the reason they must have a very low denial rate at hearing, which is below, almost 10 points below the national average, must be because all of the real claims that should have gotten approved were approved in that predetermination conference. The prototype office did exactly what it was supposed to do, which is resolve claims prior to the ODAR and the judge, unclog some of the backlog and the calendaring for the judges, right, because they're resolved still in the district offices or with DDS, and it must be working. And the proof to that is that the approval rate at hearing is 10% lower than national rate, because all the good cases are being approved in the beginning, in the prototype regions, and only those really weak cases that couldn't get approved, even with negotiation, working in partnership with DDS and the district office, couldn't get approved. And you know what? The judge also didn't approve them, so that's why it's 10% lower. The other thing that it teaches you, number two, is that you really need to resolve this and get this approved at the application and that pre-determination conference. Because if you go to hearing, the odds are against you. 48% are going to get denied, right? Versus the average of 58%. 48 are going to get denied. The judge is going to give you a hard time, which means that you need to do everything you need to do to submit your application properly, the forms, the medical records, whatever statements you need from the physicians, everything needs to be in properly and timely and updated. No old medical records, no old labs, no old imaging. Everything is fresh and new and updated, so that way they can make a proper decision based on the most recent information that they have about your health. But if the application doesn't get denied, doesn't get approved on its own, and you get a phone call, like I said, for a predetermination conference, you better work really hard. That's the second thing we're learning. You better work really hard with that claims manager, with that worker, with that technician who's trying to effectuate, going through the predetermination conference with you, and you better say to them clearly, listen, I know that the denial rate is 10% less in Colorado. They're at 47% instead of 58%. So listen, I'm going to work with you now at the application level. You tell me what you need in this predetermination conference and I will get it for you. You need updated records? I'm going to get them. You need updated letters? I'm going to get them. You need, if it's a technical denial, you need updated driver's license, proof of citizenship, or pay stubs, or residency, whatever we need, I'm going to get it for you, because I know that if I go to hearing, I got a 47% chance of winning, and I don't like those odds. So I'm going to move closer to what? To the application level winning, where it's very serious that I work very hard to get that approved. One other thing that I wanted to point out, for those that matter, how long am I going to have to wait for my hearing? Well, again, there's a backlog nationally, there's a backlog in Colorado. The average wait nationally is 342 days from the time you file your request for hearing. It's just about a year. So you have that whole chunk of time on the application. It might have been 4 months, it might have been 6 months, it might have been 8 months. But if you get to a hearing, you're going to have to wait nationally 342 days. In Colorado, it's 360 days. Okay, so again, it's a little bit more, but it's not really that much above the national average. You have about a year, so again, you want to resolve it very, very quickly, and you want to make sure that it's taken care of at the application. Other things they may want to know, if you're interested, there's a DDS office that is located at 3190 South Vaughn Way in Aurora, Colorado. And in terms of the district office, again, you need to go online and you need to put your zip code in, right? Or you need to check on our website, www.benefitsforall, where we'll list all the districts' offices in the state, so you know where your local district office is. But in terms of also the ODAR offices, if you have to go to hearing, right now, Colorado has 2 ODAR offices. The first one is in Colorado Springs, which I'm in right now, Colorado Springs ODAR, which is in Plaza of the Rockies, 111 South Tejon Street, Colorado Springs. And the other one's in Denver, the Denver ODAR, 1244 Spear Boulevard, right? Spear Boulevard in Denver, Colorado. Now, since there's 2, and I've just driven actually from Arkansas up to Colorado Springs, it took me about 3.5 hours. If I had gone to Denver, it would have been another hour. Depending where you live in Colorado, it's very, very possible that if you make it to hearing, you're going to have to make travel arrangements, because you're going to need to get at least 2 hours, depending where you live, an hour, 2 hours to get, it's very far distance. There's only 2 ODARs. Some states have many ODARs. There's a little closer to your house. There's one within 45 minutes, 30 minutes. That may not be the case over here, so you have to plan accordingly. So there you go, Colorado. You're more or less on the national average, except when it comes to hearings, and there you're 10% less. But the thing you have going for you, and the thing that my friends in Colorado who are watching this video need to understand is that because it's a prototype office, it's in your favor to work very hard and work in partnership to try to get it approved before the application is denied in that pre-decision conference. If you can do that, and you can engage in comfortable dialogue with the worker and understand exactly why your case is not being approved and what they need to see in order to approve your case, then you will have a really good chance of winning and doing very, very well. Once again, if you only understood how much is put into every one of these webinars, we're going cross-country, right? From tip to tip, left to right, up and down, west to east, north to south. We're going to cover it all. We're going to go state by state. We're going to meet the people. We're going to go to the Social Security offices. We're going to go to the ODAR offices. We're going to get a feel. The people in Colorado are different than the people in Arizona. The people in Arizona are different than the people in Alaska. The people in Alaska are different than the people in Florida and in Wisconsin and in Vermont. You have to go there and feel it in order to understand who the people are, what the community is like, and what the personalities are like. What the commonalities amongst the people in every region is very, very different. To just hire an attorney off the internet without knowing who they are, they've never been here. They maybe hire someone, they contract it out, they pay the person a couple $100 to show up for the hearing. There's very little love put into the case. Every one of these webinars are prepared with love. Hopefully you're understanding them. If you need to watch them again, you can watch them again. You can download them and stream them from your portable device. They're all on the side of your screen where you can click what you need. You just have to click it with the mouse and hit download, and it will come as long as you pay for the subscription or you purchase the package in order to get those tapes. And I think you need to understand that only through watching these tapes will you be able to really master and have a better understanding of what exactly the process is and how you have to win. If you follow these webinars from A to Z, then you have the process, you have the procedures, you have the knowledge, you have the experience, you have everything you need to win. And if you win your case and you do it on your own, instead of paying 25% or $6,000 to the attorney, you're going to get to keep that money and you're only paying a fraction of the price. I want to make sure that you win your case, and I want you to know how to do it. All these videos are all about the how to and the whys. How are we doing it and why are we doing it? Once you have the hows and the whys, then you're going to be golden. Everything is going to be great. Once again, my name is Avi Leibovic. Check us out on www.benefitsforall. I look forward to sharing more knowledge with you. And from Colorado, I look forward to seeing you soon. All the best. Thank you very much.